Hey third grade, Mrs. Selfridge here. Thought we'd start today off with a problem of the day. We haven't done one of these for a while, so take a look at it, pause the video, see if you can get the right answer before you pause the video. Valley? Yep, she is sleeping. She's not going to help us. So pause the video and go. Okay, hopefully you came up with the right answer. Oops, I did not go past the answer here. Hopefully you got the answer of 4. Okay, hopefully you were able to figure that out. I gave it to you. This one was a good review one, so I thought you'd enjoy it. Okay, today we're going to go ahead and get out our math books and turn to page 697. Hopefully you thought yesterday's tallying and frequency chart was easy. I sent you the answers. Hopefully you were able to check those. So today we're going to move on to Math in My World. Okay, it says on page 697, 15 students drew pictures of their favorite fruits on sticky notes. Their responses are shown in the picture graph. How can this data be displayed in a pictograph? So when we draw pictures and put them in a graph, we call that a pictograph. Okay, so these are all pictures. So the question is, how can this data be displayed in a pictograph? Well, here's what we can do. You could take that information and you could make it into something like this. Okay, favorite fruits. A pictograph displays the same data as a picture graph, but in a different way. Okay, when we have a pictograph, we always want to make sure we have a key, which like in social studies on a map. The key tells how many each symbol represents. So you can see on this key that each one of these symbols represents 2 students, okay? So a half basket would represent 1 student, okay? So let's go ahead and fill in these. There are half as many symbols in the pictograph as the picture graph. If you look at your picture graph on the other page, you can see you had a lot more symbols. This kind of narrows it down, but we have to have a key in a pictograph, okay? All right. When you read a graph, you study or analyze the data. Then you are able to interpret the data or explain what you learned. So here's another example. The pictograph shows the results of a survey Antoine conducted. Who saw 2 more movies than Grace? Okay, again, for a pictograph, you look down, you first look at the title, then you look at your key. Okay, and each ticket represents 2 movies. So Zach saw 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 movies. Carla saw 2, 4, 6, 8, okay? But the question is, who saw 2 more movies than Grace? So I go down here to Grace and I see she saw 3, so I need to find the person who saw 1 more ticket or 2 more movies than her. And you guys can easily see, I think, that it's Carla, right? The key shows that each symbol represents how many movies did we say? 2. Grace saw 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 6 movies. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the answer so you can fill them in as I'm going through it here. Carla saw 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 8 movies. So Carla saw 2 more movies than Grace. Okay, analyze the pictograph, then write a sentence that interprets the data. Just do your best on writing a sentence. I'll help you with it. And on your homework, you don't have to do too many sentences, just a few. Okay, so let's just look at this pictograph. The key says that each smiley face is 2 days. Okay, so this is 2 weeks of weather. It was sunny 1, 2, 3. It looks like 3, but it's not. It's 2, 4, 6 days. It was cloudy 2 days, and it was snowy 2, 4 days. Okay, so what could we say about that? We could say there are 2 times as many snowy days as cloudy days. We could also say a couple other things. There is 1 less cloudy day than snowy day. I mean, there are a lot of different things we could say here, but see if you can come up with a sentence that interprets the data. For today, you could just copy right off here if you want to. You don't need to write sample answer. Okay. Display each set of data in a pictograph. Write a sentence that interprets the data. Okay, so they want you to take the information from here and put it over here. So if I see, first thing I need to do is make sure the titles are the same. Look at the key. Each circle represents 2 balls. So if I have football and in the frequency chart it says 6, how many pictures am I going to draw over here for football? 1, 2, 2, 2, so 3 balls, right? Okay, how many would you draw for a baseball? This is where your multiplication and division skills are really going to come in. When you get to the basketball, though, 7, is a 7 divisible by 2? It's not evenly, but we talked about it earlier. What could you draw half of a ball? You could. Okay, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. I'll show you. Okay, so this is exactly what they drew. So each circle is 2 balls, so 2, 4, 6. Check your work. 2, 4, 4 baseballs. How many basketballs? 2, 4, 6 plus 1 more is 7. Okay, there were a total of 17 footballs, baseballs, and basketballs sold on Saturday. They just wrote a sentence that interprets the data. You could have also written a sentence that said there were more footballs sold than baseballs. You can also write another sentence if you want, make up your own. But for today, if you want to just copy, go ahead. Just don't write sample answer. All right, display each set of data in a pictograph, write a sentence that interprets the data. Okay, so you can get kind of creative. You can see on this key that you're going to have to draw some fish today. Each fish represents 2 fish, so how many trout are you going to draw? Well, if you know your division facts, how many times does 2 go into 10? You know that it's 5, so you're going to have to draw 5 fish for that one. How about the bass? How many times does 2 go into 8? How many times does 2 go into 17? Well, it doesn't go in evenly, so you're going to draw half of a fish. Okay, so, and if you don't remember your multiplication and division facts, you could skip count. These are 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then half of a fish there. Okay, so we did the same thing as we did in the last one. They just added them all up, and a total of 35 fish were caught on Sunday. Could you have said something else? Absolutely. Just interpret the data. Okay, display each set of data in a pictograph. Write a sentence that interprets the data. So a barn had 6 of each animal shown below and 9 pigs. Okay, key is A equals 3 animals. So they just give you the information here. So you need to figure out a barn had 6 of each animal shown below and 2 pigs. Okay, 6 cows, 6 horses, and what else? 9 pigs. So for cows, you're going to write how many A's are you going to write in here? So 6, 3 times would be 2 A's right here, right? 6 divided by 3 goes in there 2 times, so 2 A's. Horse, same thing, 2 A's. But a pig, 9 divided by 3 would be 3 A's, right? Okay, so make sure you go ahead and write those in. And a sentence that interprets the data, well, the same number of cows and horses are in the barn. That's a pretty easy one. You could have also said there are how many animals in the barn. When you add up all those, what do you get? Okay. All right, pictograph shows 2 music symbols. Each symbol represents 3 people who enjoy rock music. How many people enjoy rock music? This is just a word problem that you can figure out probably pretty easily by multiplying 2 times 3. Okay, 6 people. Answer the questions about the pictograph. Paul says that the 5 students wear the most common shoe size. Is he correct? Okay, so you need to look at the 3rd grade shoe sizes. Each shoe represents 4 students, and answer this question. Okay, is he correct? No, he's not correct, is he? Okay. The most common size is 6, and there are 5 shoes. Each shoe is 4 students, so there are 20 students who wear size 6. Okay. How many more students wear a size 4 shoe than wear a size 2 or 8? Have to do a little multiplying and subtracting here, okay? Come up with 8. I gave you the answer already, sorry. All right, and this one, explain to a friend how many students were asked for their shoe size, okay? So total up all of those. Remember, each shoe represents 4. So let's do this one together. 4. If I don't know my multiplication, if I do know my multiplication, this is what I can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shoes there, right? Okay, so I can do 10 times 4. If I don't know my multiplication facts, which I think all of us know are 10s, but I could do 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40, okay? You can skip count if you get stuck. Hopefully we can multiply. All right. And number 7, ask 10 people which of the 3 states they would most like to visit. Record the data in a frequency table and display it in a pictograph. You may not be able to find 10 people living in your house right now, so I'm going to help you out on this one. Okay, look how they displayed it in the pictograph. You have to make sure that if the key says people like that, you draw the people as best you can like that. If it was Mrs. Selfridge and we were in class, you know I'd be drawing stick people right now, right? Okay, and number 8, what's the difference between a pictograph and a pictograph? This is the most important thing. Pictograph, sometimes called a scaled picture graph, puts a scale to the picture graph and uses the same symbol. Okay, pictures can be all different things, but a pictograph uses the same symbols. And now it's time for you to do a little work on your own. Today's activity, today's homework doesn't look too bad. It looks like you have 7 problems. A little bit of drawing, nothing too fancy, and then a little bit of vocabulary. I think you got this. Keep up the good work, guys. I'm super proud of you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.